जय श्री राधे श्री वल्लभाधीश की जय हो। सभी वैष्णवन को सप्रेम हार्दिक सादर जय श्री Krishna. Today is the reading number 76 and Varta 71. The story of Narahar Das, a Gaudiya Brahmin from Bengal, Bhav Prakash. Narahar Das was born in Bengal. In the eternal Leela, he is in the Kumarikas group of gopis and his name is Sugandhara. When he grew up, he was living in the east and he had affection for Lord Jagannathji. Once he spent an entire year in Jagannath Puri. When he got home again, his father scolded him that he was now getting old and that Narahar Das never visited any of his religious clients. So how would he survive when he died? You go again and again to see Sri Jagannathji. What does he ever give you? Narahar Das replied, Lord Jagannathji nourishes the entire world, myself included. After today, you need never give me another thing. We will see if Sri Jagannathji looks after me or not. Narahar Das's father again objected. If Lord Jagannathji can provide for everyone, then why do people offer him donations and worship him? All the gods are just takers. There is no Sri Thakurji who ever gives anything to his devotee. When I give you your expenses, then only can you go to Sri Jagannathji's to have his holy sight, otherwise you would have to beg. Hearing this, Narahar Das became angry. He accused his father of being critical of the Supreme Lord and stated that he would, from that day forward, never accept anything that his father gave him, nor live in his house. It is not even right for me to see your face. You have spoken in a worse manner than even a barbarian would. He stood up and walked out. The father tried to dissuade him and begged forgiveness for his mistake, but Narahar Das was a divine soul and therefore would not listen to anything bad said about the Lord. He went to have the sight of Sri Jagannathji. However, he had nothing. He sat by the ocean and pondered, I will not ask anything from anybody. If I beg to survive, then that may give my father the chance to gloat that what he has said has come true. If the Lord gives me to eat, then I will eat. If not, what will be, will be. That evening, Sri Jagannathji himself came in the form of a 16-year-old boy and brought him some Mahaprasad. He said, O Brahmin, have some Mahaprasad. Narahar Das said, but how can I refuse Mahaprasad? Please give it to me. But I will only eat it if Sri Jagannathji himself gives it to me. This is my resolve. The youth said, this is being given by Sri Jagannathji. Who else would give it to you? Without his wish, how can anyone come here to give you prasad? Please be happy and accept the prasad. Then he left. Narahar Das ate the Mahaprasad and then took rest. Sri Jagannathji told him in his sleep that the very next morning he must go to have the sight of Sri Vallabhacharyaji and become his disciple. Then only, he said, will all your deepest wishes be fulfilled. Narahar Das replied that he did not know Sri Acharyaji, so where should he go? Sri Jagannathji told him that Sri Acharyaji was famous, and anybody would be able to tell him where to find him. Know that Sri Acharyaji is my own form, he said. The next morning he got up and, asking directions along the way, found Sri Acharyaji and bowed low to him. Sri Acharyaji addressed him, Come, Narahar Das, your resolve towards the Lord and your refuting of even your father is exemplary. Prahaladji also did not listen to his demoniac father. Your name, Narahar Das, is obviously most suitable for you. You are a very high grade of Vaishnava within this path of grace. Narahar Das thought to himself that Sri Acharyaji was indeed the Lord himself, since he already knew all about his father. He asked Sri Acharyaji to accept him as his disciple, and Sri Acharyaji answered, At the moment you are concerned with getting enough funds to survive, and so your taking of the Lord's name would not be totally fruitful. Therefore go now and sit by the shore of the ocean. There you will find plenty of wealth. With that wealth, first of all, fulfill Lord Jagannathji's every wish. Then I shall take you into my shelter, for you are mine. The world will not present you with any obstacle or grief. Narahar Das replied, Maharaj, yes, I do think about money a lot. I want to be famous so that my father will be ashamed when he hears about how much money I have. This is the power of Sri Jagannathji. Sri Acharyaji told him to go to the ocean where his wishes would be fulfilled. Narahar Das went and sat by the ocean in a deserted place. Out of the waves came piles of gold, silver, diamonds and pearls. He collected them all together in a chest and brought it all to show to Sri Acharyaji. Look, Maharaj, he said, I have found loads of money by your grace. Sri Acharyaji told him to go and fulfill his wish to please Lord Jagannathji. Narahar Das piped up, But Maharaj, everyone knows that I am poor. If I start to spend lots of money, then the king might punish me. Sri Acharyaji said that he should take his name if anyone asked, and in this way he would not be subjected to punishment. Narahar Das asked Sri Acharyaji to accept some of the treasure, but he refused, saying that this all belonged to Sri Jagannathji alone, and that he should use it all for the Lord's purpose, that it was of no use to him. Sri Acharyaji explained, going back a couple of sentences. Narahari Das asked Sri Acharyaji to accept some of the treasure, but he refused, saying that this all belonged to Sri Jagannathji alone, and that he should use it all for the Lord's purpose, that it was of no use to him. Sri Acharyaji explained, I only accept donations from my true disciples who have earned it through honest hard work. I only accept donations from my true disciples who have earned it through honest hard work. Narahar Das moved into a location and hired lots of goldsmiths, jewellers, tailors and drapers, and had them prepare garments, clothes, jewellery and also food preparations for the Lord. He fed everyone in the village there. He gave money to the priests, and everyone was astonished to see how such a previously poor man had gained such wealth. If anyone asked him how he had achieved this, he told them that it had all come from Sri Acharyaji in order to please the Lord of the universe. The king approached him and asked about this, and Narahar Das answered that Sri Acharyaji had indeed given him the money to celebrate the Lord in this way. The king then went to Sri Acharyaji and interrogated him too, asking the same thing, and Sri Acharyaji confirmed that I told him to celebrate the Lord. The king did not clearly grasp Sri Acharyaji's answer. He just thought that Sri Acharyaji must have given Narahar Das the money. The king went home. Soon Narahar Das's father heard that his son was organising these festivals and feeding thousands. He came there. Narahar Das turned his back on him, saying that he was an opponent of God, and therefore he did not want to even see his face. He said to him, See, I told you that the Lord gives everything. See just how much he has given me. The Lord grants everything to those who have faith. Those who have no faith in the Lord are sad throughout their whole life and suffer in their next life too. However, you are my father, so you should also get a share. Please take 1,000 rupees worth of stuff and go away, never to show me your face again. The father took his share and went home. He soon wasted all that money. Now that he had completed all his desired celebrations of the Lord, Narahar Das approached Sri Acharyaji, bowed to him, and Now that he had completed all his desired celebrations of the Lord, Narahar Das approached Sri Acharyaji, bowed to him and supplicated him that, O Maharaj, please accept me now that I have nothing else on my mind. I wish to take shelter in you. Sri Acharyaji instructed him to go and bathe, and when he had Sri Acharyaji initiated him with the Lord's name and Brahmasambandh, Narahar Das began to understand the principles of the path of grace. He bowed to him and declared, O Maharaj, I have been most retrograde, inasmuch as I gave the Lord too much trouble to give me that wealth for the sake of my own selfish fame. I am a true rascal. My fame has been sung, but really I deserve to fall down to hell. Fie upon me. I took the Lord's wealth just to give it back to him, and now I see this as a very selfish and stupid. If the Lord just thus graces, I will have a better fate after I have surrendered to you. Help me to know how I can gain this blessing. Sri Acharyaji said, just serve the Lord. Narahar Das asked Sri Acharyaji to give him one Sri Thakurji. Sri Acharyaji told him to again go to the shore of the ocean, where he would find such a Swarupa. Bring that Swarupa to me then, he instructed. Narahar Das went to the same place on the seashore, and out of the waves came a beautiful Swarupa of the divine couple. He took them to Sri Acharyaji, who bathed them in the 5 nectars. He named them Sri Madana Mohanji and gave them into Narahar Das's protection. Narahar Das asked Sri Acharyaji what he should do, since his father, who lived in the same house, was a non-believer. Thus he did not want to go home. I am also now well known, and people will bother me all the time. I do have many clients in Varanasi and in Bengal, he said. If you allow, I could go there to live and serve. Sri Acharyaji said that the place which was conducive to one's seva is the best place. I have been here for a long time, he said, so now I am going to the south first and then back up to Varanasi. You go straight to Varanasi, he said. Then he set off. Narahar Das came to Varanasi and began to make lovely seva of Sri Madana Mohanji. After a little time had passed, Sri Madana Mohanji began to allow Narahar Das to enjoy his direct experience. Narahar Part 1. Narahar Das served Sri Madan Mohanji for many years very lovingly. He became old and his body became weak, so he was incapable of serving. He brought Sri Madan Mohanji to Gokul and set up his seva in Sri Gosaiji's house. Sri Gosaiji put him near to Sri Gokul Chandramaji. They all shared the same throne. Narahar Das stayed in Vraja and spent the rest of his life in the contemplation of Sri Thakurji. He was thus a recipient of the great grace of Sri Acharyaji and an accomplished Vaishnav. Thus concludes Varta 71, the story of Narahar Das Gaudiya from Bengal, although there is truly no end to his tale. So, Aaj ke Anand ki jai, we will conclude today's reading here with Narahar Das Gaudiya from Bengal, and tomorrow Varta 72, Narahara, Sannyasi. Sab Vaishnavan ko Jai Shri Krishna. Aaj ke Anand ki jai, Vallabhadish ki jai. Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.